You guys, it's time to do the video that you guys have been asking me to do. Whether it was a live stream or recorded, we decided to record it, but it is sell, loan, or keep for Inter 25-26 season. And actually, in the tier maker, I've added one more column, which is open to offers. So before we get into it, you know what to do. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, of course. Let me know whether you agree with my tier rankings or not. Just to save us some time, I started already down here at the bottom with the sell. Of course, we already sold these two guys here, the Choco brothers, Correa and Arnautovic, so I don't need to talk about that. Taremi, I think it's best for all parties to split ways, Inter to get rid of his salary and him to just find a place where maybe he can be the main man again, like Porto, maybe a different league, maybe in the Premier League as well. If Inter can get any money out of him, that's great. Aslani, as much as I have supported him over the years, I would be open to put him in the loan section as well, because I think if we signed this guy and loaned him to Empoli or just any other mid-table Serie A team, and he had the same amount of minutes and development that someone like Samuele Ricci had, I think he would be at a similar level right now. But he isn't quite ready for Inter yet. And if a value of 15 million, someone comes in with that offer, definitely it's time to sell and give someone else an opportunity. Tejan Buchanan, we spoke about it in the last few weeks as well. I don't think the Serie A is for him. Now we've got an abundance of wing backs as well with Luis Enrique coming in. There's no space for him. So yeah, Inter just need to make that 7-8 million euros we spent on him back. No loans, only permanent. Seba Esposito, no more loans. If Seba Esposito stays again, this guy's just going to end up being, the Samuele Longo of Inter. If we keep renewing his contract, he keeps going out on loan. Let's get what we can get for him this summer. And Franco Carboni, this is Valentin Carboni's older brother, who used to look good at youth level, but there you go. You see, when these guys are bullying physically kids at youth level, but when it comes to adults, this guy barely gets a kick at Monza, back in Argentina, at Venezia. So yeah, I think he's going on loan to Empoli, but realistically, Inter should be trying to sell this guy. At the top, keep. Now, this is the guy that I would keep. Lautaro, I've always been open to sell Lautaro, and this summer is no different. I am realistically open to offers, but you know what it is? It's, there's who are there. I don't see the top clubs really coming for Lautaro now. Now that he's 27, going to be 28. What teams are coming in for Lautaro? We're going to get the money that we would want and need. His salary is massive, which is another reason I would be open to selling him. But this is our captain now. The way he came out in the summer, just a few weeks back, maybe shouldn't have come out publicly with what he said, but I appreciated it. You need leaders in the dressing room. We can't get rid of, one of the key leaders of the dressing room this summer, where, Kiev was coming in very inexperienced. I think he's going to need as much experience to help him out in there. And he had a bad year last year, Lautaro. Hopefully with more rest this summer, we can get, back to MVP level Lautaro, which I think I keep saying, even Lautaro at 70-80% last season, we would have won the Scudetto. That was, such a marginal difference to a Scudetto. A Lautaro that was actually fit in the first 2 or 3 months, that could have made all the difference. And that could make the difference this summer. Thuram, he could also go in the open to offer section if he's going to play like he did in the second half of last season. But his qualities and his, pace, dribbling and ability, when he's on form, when he's, the first half of the season, he was, Serie A MVP level. Again, this is all based on hope or faith in Kivu getting these guys back to their real level. Keep Denzel Dumfries. I know the release clause is out there, but I don't think anyone's going to pay that in one chunk. I think he's staying, and I think we should keep him, even though he's 29. This might be the best time to monetize. But again, a leader, had his best season yet, so he can only hopefully keep that up. Jose Martinez, definitely. I think this is the season to start judging him. Last season, it was, we knew that the signing was kind of like, I'll give him 1 year to just bed in. Second year, we'll see whether he's, is actually a good signing or not, if Zoma leaves. De Vrij, Now this is one of the key topics now, guys. Out of De Vrij and Acerbi, who would you keep? I've always been team Acerbi over De Vrij in terms of ability. On his day, if it's a final, Francesco Acerbi, you play. Big game, Francesco Acerbi, you play. But he's going to be 38 this season. His injury issues this season did cause us trouble. There was a time when he was almost out for like 2 months with a mysterious injury. From the reports, it seems that he is tempted by the Saudi league offers. And unlike De Vrij, I don't think he's really too keen on accepting a backup role. Unlike De Vrij, who's been fine being his backup and stepping in very well most of the time. And De Vrij is only 32. So for that reason, if the Saudi offer comes in, I am open to selling Acerbi, and it makes sense with the whole Leone situation. I mean, I don't know if we're going to sign Giovanni Leone from Parma, but he is definitely more of an Acerbi, the Vrij mold of a defender. Not super athletic, not super quick, not super, quick on the sideways, the lateral sprints and things like that. On the ball, he's decent, he's okay. That's more of a center back. So if we're signing a center back for the future, like Leone, then we need to make space for Leone, and that is one of De Vrij and Acerbi. For me, it's time for Nonno Acerbi to go, or cancel his contract, the 500k offer that Inter have within his contract. Di Gennaro, yeah, mean player, third keeper, renewed his contract, all good. Mkhitaryan, I think the favorite scapegoat of the fan base at the moment. He's got 1 more year left on his contract. He's not going anywhere. So I'm not even going to tempt fate on that one. I'm only going to try to move him because he's unmovable. Darmian, keep him, but as a right centre-back only. Right centre-back, left centre-back, only in real emergencies as a wing-back. Carlos Augusto, maybe even the starter next season at the beginning. Di Marco needs to fight for his spot again. Barella and Bastoni, of course, keep. Bastoni, probably the most important to keep, or maybe our most important player right now in terms of status, ability, and form. Di Marco, I actually would be open to offers of Di Marco. He's a player that I've always had my doubts in terms of. I love him as he's an Interista, the story coming through. And of course, he was very good as well at the start of the season, and he's been good since he stepped in for Perisic, since Perisic has left. But long term, I mean, you're already at 27. This guy looks like sometimes we're talking about a 40-year-old, the way his athletic stamina is at times. What teams do really like? Premier League teams are going to stay well clear of a profile like Di Marco. This is like Luke Shaw with no fitness, basically. So just for that reason, I don't think we're really going to get much money out of Di Marco. And again, similar to like other players who maybe underperformed, I bank on Di Marco being rested, being ready after a summer to go again. And we know that Pio Esposito now is staying, and that is great news. The youngsters, loan them all out. Akin Sanmiro, definitely Serie A loan if possible. There's rumors of Pisa in Serie A. Do that. Definitely not Serie B anymore. The Sampdoria one, I thought it was going to be a good loan, but then Pirlo got fired, and I think they had 3 or 4 different coaches. Sampdoria was a shit show, so it ended up not being a very fruitful loan for Akin Sanmiro. But if you follow me on this channel, you know I like this guy. His contract is going to be renewed, which I like. Alexander Stankovic. I mean, if we sell Aslani, it wouldn't be the end of the world if you have Alexander Stankovic as the backup. But if it is a team like Club Brugge, and maybe a Bundesliga team coming in, that would be a fantastic loan to send him out in. But I know that we are going to sell him, but I think we should only sell him to terms that we like. At the moment, the Club Brugge rumors are that we're going to sell him for 10 million euros, which is slightly a bit lower than I would value him. I would try to push it up to close to 15, but the issue is the buyback clause that Club Brugge want. They want to put in 30 million. Which is triple the value of what they're signing them for, whereas Inter should be really getting a clause for around 20, 25 max, but it should be around the 20 max. So if they're not playing ball, you can also just loan them out. But I know that we also do need to make sales at the moment to keep the mercato moving. Valentin Carboni has gone out on loan to Genoa officially today, so that I'm happy there. I did tweet also that I wouldn't mind keeping him just because of his profile. He is a guy that can play behind the striker, or one of the two behind the strikers, or even as a mezzala, as a second striker. But coming back off an ACL, it's probably not being, not being a starter, not being a regularly used player, being a super sub as well, coming off an ACL. That's not ideal. If you're coming on as a sub, you're doing a lot of sprints, a lot of high intensity things. Like as a starter, as a different, maybe it's probably best for him to be a starter. And we're actually paying money to Genoa for the loan. So, and I've always been a proponent for this, appearance based. I don't know if what it is, 30 appearances, and we pay 1 million to Genoa. I think I saw it was the 1 million fee that Inter pay Genoa for this. And I saw people criticizing it. No, we should do this more often for loanees. That forces these Serie A clubs to play them. In Serie A, I would pay that. Not for Serie B, but for Serie A, pay these teams money. And for Carboni, hopefully that works out well post ACL year. It's always a tricky one. Thomas Palacios, I did originally have him in sell, but probably this year, after signing him for 7.5 million, his value, if it's not the same, has definitely gone down. So I think we need him to send him out on a loan, just to get his value back up to at least a 7, or try to increase it. Hopefully another Serie A team, or maybe even Spanish league or Dutch league or Belgian league or Swiss league even. We've had some good loan stints in Swiss leagues. Anything in Europe that keeps him close to base, and then we can evaluate him from there. Then down to open to offers. So Jan Sommer, rumors of Galatasaray, and I'm open to it. Again, he is 36, going to be 37. You got to make the decision before the decline. You don't have to wait for the Jan Sommer decline to make the decision. You got to make it before. If you spend 15 millions on Josep Martinez, clearly, as Inter, 15 million, it doesn't grow on trees for us. We're not a Premier League team. You must have some form of faith and plan for Josep Martinez, whether he is going to be number one or you're going to sign someone else. But if Jan Sommer, again, this is about a commitment to Inter. If Jan Sommer feels like his time at a top level European club is over, similar to his buddy there, Hakan, then I am open to selling him for sure. Again, this one similar to Acerbi, we might not even get a fee for him. We might have to even pay him off, which that would not. I would be against that. At least try to get a minimum for even Galatasaray, but I would be open to it. Hakan, I went from as the days go on, I went from sell to now seeing that Galatasaray put in a 10 million euro bid for this guy. You can't undersell him by that much, even if it's I see the Brozovic situation, as I said since the beginning, that we're going to undersell him maybe around 17 to 20 million euros. But if it's anything underneath that, then just have the conversation with Hakan, clear the air, which apparently they've already kind of done. But after a whole month off, these guys hopefully come in with a fresh mind, reset, and maybe we can rebuild the bridge with Hakan. And he's also, depending on if he's fully committed to Inter, ready to go again. 31 years of age is not old. Yes, he had injury issues last year, but maybe again, a lot of these guys have been playing a lot of football for country and club, so they finally maybe this rest and more rotation next year could help him. Zielinski, very disappointing first season at Inter. Could maybe have a new manager bounce. Clearly, Inzaghi didn't rate him over Mkhitaryan or Hakan or Barella. Quite rightly, he didn't really show much, but he earns 4.5 million net. He's quite expensive as a substitute. He's going to be 31, 32 this season. If he is just coasting his way to retirement, then he might as well go to Saudi now. So any Saudi league offers, which he did have at Napoli, if they come again, I am very, very open to selling Zielinski, giving Sucic, given that we already signed Sucic in there, then we need to sign a replacement for Aslani. And then we're good. Then we come to these three guys that left to the end, because I think these are also interesting conversations. Jan Beckenbauer, I am open to offers, and the same is for Benji Pavard. I think similar to De Vrij and Acerbi is one of these two. So we are linked to Coney de Winter. I think the Coney de Winter links are not for the centre back, because Coney de Winter to me strikes me as one of these wide defenders. more athletic, quick, decent on the ball, likes to get forward, a Bisek Pavard vibe. So if you sell, the rumors of 35, 40 million euro offers for Bisek from Premier League, then you throw 30 at Jono for Bisek for the winter, you've already found a good replacement for Bisek. I think you can find in modern football now that centre backs are most centre backs now are these hybrids that are good going forward, good on the ball, athletic. I can, find 5, 10 Bisek type players out there. It's just a very common hybrid profile that you can find these days of centre back. Now, the maturity that someone like Bisek showed, this guy has learned the language already, very humble the way that he's, taken on his time at Inter. Yes, he's had a few mistakes, but he's quite likable. So, off the pitch, these things kind of matter too. So I'm not very keen on that. That's why I've not put him here. I'm not like keen to get rid of him. It's just, if there are those 35, 40 million offer, you can easily make your money and reinvest in a De Winter type profile. You can find other profiles like that. Mosquera, the guy that's going to Arsenal, another similar one. Similar argument for Benji Pavard in a different way, that he's got high wages, 29, going to be 30. I'm having doubts, similar to some of his teammates here, whether he's fully committed, whether he's kind of coasting to, the end of his contract at Inter, and, not fully hungry to be the starter and giving it his all, or even trying to improve at his age. If there's offers, again, 15, 20 million euros probably, because he's 29, 30, not going to be anything too high, I'm open to selling Benji Pavard again. Then you can reinvest that money into a different role. But I think with Pavard, if you replace him with a De Winter, then it becomes, Bisek De Winter for the right centre-back position. Then you got two kind of doubts. At least Benji Pavard, yes, he might have had an off year last year, but he's still a very experienced, one of the most trophy-laden players that is in not just the Inter, in Serie A or in general world football at the moment. So again, I'm not pushing to sell him. And as I said before, with Kivu coming in, unexperienced staff, it would be good to have guys with know-how to win and experience stay in the team. So out of the two, probably I'm more keen to sell Bisek and reinvest and keep Benji Pavard for the moment. And the final one is, of course, Davide Frattesi, who looked like he was guaranteed to be sold under Inzaghi. It seemed like it was a done deal. January, he wanted to go. His agent was pushing him to go. He stayed. Then in the summer, it looked like this was a summer that he definitely was going. There was no return. He was sick of it. But now with Kivu coming in, apparently he's going to make him more of an important figure, or at least he wants to keep him for the season and see how it goes. There's talks of even renewing his contract to reduce his squad cost, so spreading his squad cost over more years, which is very interesting, unexpected from, if you're following the saga from a few months ago. But I am open to offers for Frattesi because he has very, very good value. You're talking about teams that are interested and willing to pay 30 plus million euros for him. And again, you can reinvest that money. Maybe Nico Paz now is not realistic anymore, but you can find other players out there. If you get rid of not if you keep Hakan, but get rid of Zielinski, then keep Frattesi. I've always said a Frattesi-like profile is always very important. We haven't taken the option to bring back Giovanni Fabian from Bologna for 12 million euros. That's basically the Frattesi copycat, Frattesi regen. But Frattesi's goal-scoring ability is rare to find. And clearly, as a super sub, he is unmatched. So for that reason, again, now I'm not really too much pushing to sell Frattesi, but I'm open to offers. But yeah, that is my final keep, loan, sell, and open to offers tier list. You guys let me know in the comments down below whether you agree, disagree, which ones you agree or disagree with. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below as well. Your kind of values that you put for each player, who you would replace each player with. We'll discuss it in the coming days in more videos and live streams, so keep a lookout on the channel. Ciao ragazzi, always, Forza Inter.